Welcome to the monthly Success Team Lifewave call. It is now May the 7th, and we are so glad that you're all with us. We're going to have a really good evening. We're going to be focusing on a number of things, but especially the incentive trip. So I'm going to pass it on over to Carl to take it away.
Yeah, thank you all for coming here. This is, I think, one of the most important meetings we're going to have in our Lifewave Success Live Younger group. The company has opened up a very generous opportunity for each one of us, and I mean each one of us, to not only build our business, but win a trip. And as has been discussed on other calls, people are motivated by different things. We're motivated, of course, by good health, wanting to have it and to help others achieve it as well. But we're also motivated by building business, which Lifewave offers all the tools in which we can build a business, and we can build it at the speed we want. And some people are incentivized by building that business, and there is certainly a money-making aspect to our business. And then there's the incentive trip. Some people are incentivized by a trip. And currently, until September 1st, we have all the weeks ahead of us to qualify for this trip. And there are many different ways that we can qualify for it. And I think if memory serves correctly, and I'm not here as long as people like Kai, who are been there a long time, we're going to talk about that, is that there's probably not been in recent times as many ways to qualify to win the points that are going to put you in that 5-star location in Punta Cana at the Hard Rock Hotel. And if you know Lifewave and have been around here, they don't do anything unless it's top shelf. They really do treat people. And I know Judy will speak about that because she was on a trip not that long ago to Aruba. And I know she can testify as to what an incentive this is to win this trip. But there's another reason on top of it. Some people would say, well, I can buy a ticket and go to a beach anywhere I want. And that's true. Maybe you can. For some of us, you can. But to be amongst your peers, to be amongst those that are doing the same business as you are, speaking about the same things that are important to you and sharing secrets of success, well, now that's something different altogether. And that's the testimony of a lot of people. And Cameron, is it okay if I just call on you for just a moment here to speak? Because you on one of the most recent incentive trips in Cancun. It was in your own backyard. I know you didn't have to go far, but just a couple of brief remarks as to what it was like for you to be on that incentive trip, if you could, please.
Yeah, sure. It was it was an amazing experience. I get to meet a lot of people that I've only seen on Zoom, and
to be among so many people that are in the same business as you are. You met people like Michael Jaco. I mean, that's a phenomenal opportunity in itself to talk to somebody who's doing Lifewave at the level he is, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
no,
fantastic.
it was a really great experience for sure. Something I want to do more of and plan to do more of, and
yeah,
kind of feels like met a lot of soul family there.
Yeah, I remember you saying you found your soul family there in terms of what they're doing, and I think it's true. Your experience validates that once you go on one, you don't want to miss any other one. So thanks for sharing that. Judy, you went to Aruba a little while ago. Let's just talk about these trips for a minute because they are a huge incentive. Can you just give us a brief summation of what your trip to Aruba was like?
Oh yeah, it was like nothing else that I had experienced, and I've been pretty much all over the world for both personal travel as well as for a missionary travel. And what was really special was the camaraderie, the ability just to sit down and talk to people and ask them how's it going and how do you do your business. Not to mention the incredible tips and training that we got from David himself. And then just the last thing I remember in Aruba is just that wonderful dinner on the beach with white tablecloth and beautiful food, beautiful people, the sun setting. Yeah, all the little surprises, all the little extras, everything from, having a cold cloth and a water bottle with Lifewave on it when we got on the bus to shuttle from the airport to the hotel. And then just, yeah, the incredible ability to make new Lifewave friends. Yeah, you can buy a trip like that, but you don't get to meet all the Lifewave people around you. So I loved it. My husband loved it. And we hope to go again for this next trip.
Wonderful. Pete, I'm going to turn it over to you, if I could, please, just to speak a little bit about the trip itself, the different ways that people are going to qualify for points and how they're going to earn them. And I'm wondering, Carola, sorry for being a little last minute on this one, if you could bring up that slide, some of those slides of the ways in which people can qualify. I know you're so good at finding stuff. I'm hoping you can have it here on a minute's notice, and then we'll be able to share that screen as Pete takes us through some of the different ways that we're going to be earning points on this trip. So without further ado, Pete, why don't you just take us through a brief flyover of the ways in which we're going to earn points here and how many points it takes to get on that trip.
Well, thank you so much, Kai. And I know that this year is a little different than previous years. And we've got actually 8 different ways to earn points. And that's what's putting so many people in the game and really, really excited about it. I know Cameron and Peter Langley are here. We were talking, and Cameron, especially, and I, we were talking just the other day, and we were saying, okay, week 1 is gone. What do we need to do each week? And 5 points. And I'm like, I had my 5 points well before the week was over. And then Cameron calls me on Sunday, you got my 5 points in as well, because it's 85 points for a trip for 2. You need less than that for a trip for 1. But it's built around business activities that you do, maintaining your highest paid rank, bringing in a bronze, bringing in a silver, upgrading them as they go along. And there's an incredible strategy that I know Robin had shared, and it's really, really cool. And it's just so amazing that because you can hold your rank and you're already in the game, you're already in the tracking. And as you bring new people in, and they don't have to be diamonds, I mean, you can gradually work them towards diamonds, and you get incentivized as they upgrade to silver, to gold, and to diamond. I think that's really good. And you go through the 8 different ways. And one thing that I want to share here tonight is Hannah created a really cool Excel file for tracking your trips. And it's unlike the one Lifewave where you have to kind of pencil it in and erase it. And she's got a beautiful PowerPoint that she created. Many of you leaders already have the PowerPoint. I'm going to make it available to everybody. I'm going to post my email in the chat, and anybody who wants this Excel is sent to them. All I'm going to ask you to do is send me an email and say, I want the Punta Cana tracker, the Excel one that you can see all the points, all the ways, everything is listed in there. And if you get a preferred customer, boom, you can enter that preferred customer. You can enter the name just for your own benefit, and or if you sponsor a silver or a gold, and you get the points that are associated with that activity, or you just maintained your rank. Let's say you're a manager and you held on to manager last week. Well, you got a point, right? You held on to director, you got points. You held on to any status that you've achieved, there's points in it. And this tracker is so wonderfully done by Hannah. And I'm going to ask you, Hannah, to just type it into the chat here, if you don't mind. And anybody who wants this will gladly email it out to you. And I want to rewind though a little bit, because my wonderful sponsor and friend Kai Jacobson is on the call tonight, and we're so blessed to have him here. I remember the very first Lifewave trip that I was exposed to. Kai was on a cruise in 2019. I wasn't in Lifewave at that time, but you know what? He called me from the cruise ship, and you know how expensive that can get, calling from a cruise ship. And he calls me in Belize, and he says, we're on this amazing trip here with Robin and Gregory and this and that, and we're having a time of our lives. And it was so interesting for me that, that they would just get an all expense paid vacation like that. I wasn't in at the time, but he kept dripping on me. And there's a huge clue in that. And I had every excuse in the book in the beginning of why I didn't want to join Lifewave or wasn't joining Lifewave. But I ran out of those excuses. And my mentor, my sponsor, Kai, just kept on with me and connecting with me. And it was so amazing. And I want to bring Kai on right after here, because he is just such an amazing individual. Has been here since the very beginning, and I just appreciate the man so much and all that he does. And he's the reason we're all here today. So, Kai, if you want to add a little bit to the incentive trip and just your 20-year legacy mission with Lifewave, we'd love to hear from you, my friend.
Sure. Thank you, Pete. Yeah, it's really fun, you know, to have a business where you can call people from fun things that you're doing and inspire them to want to participate. That, you know, I really do like building Lifewave as a business and welcoming and joining people to have the abundance that, you know, you definitely get the health from the products, and that's a given, and it's an amazing thing. But we also have a business opportunity with it, and it allows that creates a healthiness in our, you know, financial well-being, and it allows us to do trips. It allows us to have a lifestyle, and it's really special. The thing I would say about this trip to Punta Cana that's so unique is they made a big mistake. This is the truth. I'm just going to give it to you. They made a goof on making this really easy to qualify. They didn't realize when they were putting it all together how easy they made it to really accumulate the points, because there's so many different ways you can do it. And they're expecting probably the biggest trip they'll ever have from the company. So if you ever wanted to win a trip, this is the one that you can win really with the greatest ease. So this is a really good one to go for, because you'll get to meet a lot of the leaders and people that are doing things in Lifewave, and just rubbing elbows and having good, fun experiences, and knowing that you've achieved that is going to take your business to a whole nother level. And because they made some goofs in letting it be cumulative instead of, like, you know, just paying for getting to bringing a goal. You can make all the stair steps up, and just even, you know, that as people develop their business over this period of time, just a few, you know, 4 or 5 people you could win the trip with if they go all the way to getting it at diamond, and they can do it incrementally instead of just starting it at diamond. So the pay plan, but the trip is designed for a lot of people to win. So this is something you can really achieve.
I think you know, I questioned it as well, Kai. I'm glad you always speak from the heart. Yeah, maybe they did make a goof. Maybe it was intentional. Maybe it's part of 20th year, because we are a legacy company into our 20th year, but it is by far, and I've only been here a few years, anybody can win this trip if you do put any kind of effort into it, because of the accumulation and the cumulative function of the points. Like, even for myself as a director to go to senior director, I only have to maintain the required number of points. They don't have to be consecutive. There's so many ways in which to qualify. Anybody rank advancing, and you're starting off as a brand partner, you go to manager, you maintain that for every week, you get a point for that. You go to director, you get a point for that. You go to senior director and maintain that for the required weeks, you get points for that. You get points advanced. You get points for bringing people up in their rank as they move up in the different categories. So here is Carola now sharing the screen. Thank you, Carola. So Pete, do you want to take us through there, or Judy, any one of you want to speak to these points as we see them now here in the way that you can earn points?
I'm happy to do it, or Judy, I can take the first few, and then you can jump in for the remaining. But yeah, it's right in front of us, and I believe we all got this via an email as well, which brand partners, how brand partners can earn and how they can participate in this incentive trip. And here's the message I want to convey before I even start. You know what? This trip is attainable, achievable by someone you haven't even brought into business yet, someone you're going to bring in tomorrow, tonight, after the call, because it's so achievable. I've never seen a trip that's so doable than this. And Carl just mentioned, obviously, I know Cameron's going to go for this one. Judy's going to go for this one. Carl, the senior director, holding on and maintaining it for 6, not consecutive, 6 weeks, and you're automatically there. So that's really enticing. Now, I want to share something. When I started Lifewave, obviously, it was 2020, and of course, all trips were no-go during that time, but to reach the senior director level, and Kai, my sponsor, was very instrumental in making that happen. And we got real busy on three-way calls, and I'm sure you'll remember that, Kai. And I hit the senior presidential director or senior director level in literally 6 weeks from the time I started. Like manager was days, and director was 2 weeks, and senior director was 6 weeks later. So the reality is, even if you're brand new and you've got somebody who's really motivated, they can do this because of how the system works with a point for silver and then upgrade them to gold. Here's the question that I'm going to have, Judy, and I'm not clear on this yet. If you join someone, let's say you start someone as a silver today and you get a point. Now, when they upgrade from silver to gold, it says 2 points. Is that in addition to the 1 point you already received at the silver, or is it 1 point from silver to gold? There's been a little confusion about that, and I'm not 100% clear. So maybe you can jump in on that, Judy, if you have a little more knowledge. I know diamond is 4, I can see that clearly, but how does that work? If you started a silver and you upgrade to a gold, is that 1 and 1, or is that a total of 3 then?
That's a great question. I do not know the answer, but I bet you Kai knows.
It's a total
know,
of 3.
I believe that it is cumulative. That you get each of that. That's where the mistake was, that it normally isn't that way.
Yes, and Robin already did mention that, and it has been recorded. So yes, you can get up to 8 points for customer, and then silver, and then gold, and then diamond. Total of 8.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Kai, and thank you, Cameron, for clarifying that. And yeah, Kai did say there was a little bit of a mix-up, and this is it. Let's take advantage of it. And then even as Robin said, put in a person as a preferred customer. And I know, Judy, you like to do that. And I know, Cameron, you've been doing that. Many of us are doing that. You get a point for a preferred customer. Start them as a customer. Okay, point. Then silver, point. Upgrade to gold, 2 more points. And then if they want to go all the way up to diamond, I mean, that's up to them, of course, 4 points. But yeah, you don't need a lot of people to win this trip. And then keep in mind, you're holding on to your status, your highest paid status, and if that's director for you or manager for you, I mean, those are points that you're going to continually get. 2 points for developing also team members. There's a different category here of developing new managers. So if you develop a brand new manager, for example, I've got Dr. Heike on the call here, Dr. and Colin from the UK tonight. They're brand new, so they just came on board. So my goal would be take them with me on the trip, and if you get them to manager, well, they'll get their points, but I'll get 2 points when I have them. Same for you and everyone. Develop a director during this time frame. And obviously, anybody who's director and who wants to go to senior director, well, you need 2 directors, 4 points each. I mean, how exciting is that? 4 on each side, 8 points just for developing 2 directors. And then, of course, then you're not dependent on those points, because if you maintain the senior director, which is 5 points by itself, if you maintain it 6 of the weeks, but let's say hypothetically you don't maintain it 6 of the weeks, if you have enough points, which many will, it'll just be automatically in the bag, because 85 points gets you the trip for 2, and it's less than that. And Judy, maybe you've been an Aruba trip winner. I think this is so much better than it was when you were achieving your trip, because it was based around preferred customers, and I wasn't really promoting preferred customers so much at that time, and you were, and you made that trip. So maybe you could jump in here, Judy, and just take it away. And what are some of the other ways, and what motivates you, Judy, here to see points happening within your team?
Yeah, I mean, the points for both getting sponsors as well as enrollments as well as upgrades, that blows my mind.
Yeah.
That we're going to reward both, not just the new customers, but existing customers or existing brand partners who decide to move up and upgrade the kit. I mean, there's ways to go into our back office and pull out a report or a spreadsheet that'll show you all the people that are at whatever kits they're at. And then that's your marching orders. That's what I do. I get on the phone then with that list, and I call each and every one and say, hey, look, when you're ready to make the next order, let me help you. I will do it for you. Really, Judy? Yes, I'm happy to do it for you. Oh, I've been so busy and I don't understand it. And I say, let me help you. When you're ready, then I will get your order for you. I'll put it in for you. And that way, you know, it gets done and it gets done correctly. And they think, wow, what customer service, like you're really doing a lot for me. Thank you. Now I want people to figure it out themselves. But at this stage, I'm more than happy to help do the upgrade kit for them, rather than just having them do a regular monthly order or just do an order. I want to help them get that upgrade kit. And of course, I say to them, not, you know, can you please get me to go to Punta Cana? I say, you know what? There's a way that you can make an order and get some free sleeves. And I'd love to get you some really free sleeves. Great, let's do it. How do I do that? And so then I upgrade them. So I really encourage us to not only find prospects and new enrollments, but make sure that everybody that it has a kit, you help them to upgrade over the next few weeks or months. And I even incentivize that if they're hesitant and they're not sure, I say to them, hey, what if I paid your shipping for you? You're going to get free patches and no shipping. What do you think? And they go, yes, let's do it. But my goal is, I don't think it shows it here on the screen that's being shared. But if I just focus in on moving from director to senior director, I automatically get to go. I don't have to be counting all these points. You automatically go. As far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, you get to go on this trip for two if you become a senior director.
That's absolutely right, Judy. Yeah, as soon as you go to senior director, you're going to have trip for 2, all expense paid. 60 points will get you the vacation, but only 1 airfare, and 85 or 80, whichever it is, gets you 2 people, all expense paid in there. I just want to push a pause button for a minute because we have 2 users on here I haven't been able to identify, and I'm sorry for that. We might have missed you at the beginning, but you're listening to our Lifewave Success Live Younger call. This is a very different call because we are still at the beginning stages of a huge incentive trip, which is going to allow people to earn a trip and to build a business. So you're hearing a lot about this trip. You're hearing a lot about business and points, and that may be not the call that you were anticipating, but we invited you here for a purpose because this business has so many facets to it. And this one right now is a huge incentive that the company is providing for us as we share the good news about our product with people. It's still the same focus. It's still the same great product and everything we're doing. But in this particular call, you're hearing a lot about a trip because we're excited about it. The company does that. So the company you've joined is huge on providing the incentives for us as brand partners to share the good news about our product. That's still our center point of focus, but we get to do these other things in the process. So I just wanted to clarify that and welcome the 2 people that I haven't been able to identify. They might be people of my own, I'm not sure. But just to be clear on that, we're still talking about Lifewave, X39, the miracle of our photo light therapy patches, but this call is a little bit different. So Pete, you want to speak a little bit more about the other ways that are listed here in earning points, unless we've covered them? I'm not sure.
Right, Kai, I think, or it's Carl, most of them have
I'm honored when you call me Kai, by the way.
I know.
Me too.
It's,
Me
they both
too,
start with a
Kai.
K and they're both magnificent, you know. How can you go wrong, huh? So, but the other activities is really just your daily method of operation, going out there and doing what you're already doing. And most of us, you know what, you either want a customer or you want a new brand partner, whether it be silver, whether it be gold, however you bring them in. It's really quite simple when you look at this and you digest it. And I promote it as, even though you are not even in the business, I can help you work out a strategy, and we'll use a spreadsheet, that Excel file, and we'll continue to see all the ways that you can do this and level up. I mean, that's the whole thing. You want to make managers through this contest. You want to build people. And once they get on the board and they start seeing these points, and let's face it, September 1, that's a fairly lengthy time to be earning points here. And yes, it is over summer, and some people may slow down over summer, but the reality is when people have a goal and a target, they're going to look at this very carefully, and they're going to say, well, I can do that. I can advance to the next level. And we're on a momentum right now. And I don't know if you guys have noticed that, like even in the success team room and all around, just people are waking up. There's people that are just calling out of the woodwork that have been dormant, that are coming back and saying, wow, you know what? This is incredible. I'm seeing it everywhere. I'm turning the internet on. I'm going to YouTube. I'm looking here. I'm looking there. It's everywhere, Lifewave. They are on a roll right now. And we are on such momentum that this is almost going to come naturally for some people to earn this trip. And let's face it, you get them excited, you get them in the game early, whether it's their first 5 points or whatever, you're going to get a commitment from them. And everyone can do this. And if Kai, do you want to add anything? I know we called you on here tonight, and you have a huge network of experience and so many people that are working this. And what are your thoughts, Kai? Give us the big picture, if you will. What would be the easiest way to earn this trip for a newbie?
To really want it. You know, the bottom line is you just really have to see yourself winning and desire it. And it's not even just the trip. I mean, the trip is fun and all of it's fun, but I think it's kind of being, I love the line all in. And it's like when you make the decision to be all in, like there's the story of Cortez, you know, like when he came to Mexico to look for gold and he burned all the ships. I'm all in. I'm staying, you know, we're not leaving, even though we're having trouble with the, you know, finding the gold and being here in Mexico, being just, you know, a few people. There were a lot of there people that didn't want him there. But I felt that with Cameron. I mean, Cameron, I hope it's okay I tell your story a little bit. It's like you went on that trip, you met inspirational people like Michael Jaco, and you got to hang out with Peter there and meet a lot of other people that you didn't even know were in the company yet. And it's inspirational. And when you came back, the thing I really noticed, not only did you have a good time, but you decided to let go of your day job. It was a life-changing experience for you. I think it gives, I used to do a teaching about levels of belief, and belief is so much what drives this whole business. You know, if you're a 10 on a scale of 1 to 10 on the products, on the company, on the industry, on what we're doing, you're unstoppable. And this is a belief builder. So when you meet the leaders, the winners in the company, and you're having fun and you're socializing and you get to travel to the most beautiful places in the world a couple times a year, once you get in the rhythm of winning these, and you can welcome the people you're working with to get to that level, the belief level goes way up. And what happened with Cameron was he let go of his day job. I was so impressed. It was like, he was like, I'm all in. And that's what you're looking for. It's not just the trip, it's the change in your life and what it can bring for you at a much deeper level. Anyway, that's what I would share.
Yeah, that's
Thank
awesome.
you. Yeah, Cameron, go ahead. Make a comment. I love hearing from you.
Thanks, brother. Yeah, that's great. Thanks for sharing that, Kai. And yeah, a couple of things I'd like to share. Well, the reason I wanted to go to the Cancun event, those of you who know me and know where I live, I'm only an hour and a half. I live an hour and a half south of there. And so it wasn't necessarily to be on the beach and have a vacation, but it was to meet leaders in the company and learn from the people that have been doing this, you know, a lot longer than I have. And one of the things that I noticed with the incentive trip and the way the points are set up now is that senior presidential directors and I can't remember, I'd have to look at the sheet again. But they earn, just for staying active for 18 weeks, they're going to earn 36 points. So they earn more than half the points just to get there. So it's going to be very easy. So we'll probably see a lot of senior presidential directors. And those are the people that I want to meet and be around and learn from. And so that really inspires me. And just being able to, to spend time with Kai and other people and meet people in person. I think all these community events are very inspiring. They're very motivating as well.
Thank you, Cameron. If anybody with a question, if you can just want to unmute yourself and ask your question, or if you want to raise your hand on the reactions buttons down at the bottom, please do that. We want to make sure that this doesn't turn into a webinar, but we want some dialogue. So Peter Langelier, I think you had a question about something about preferred customers. Do you want to ask it? Are you able to? Okay. Anybody
Yes,
else? Go ahead,
I
Peter.
have a question. When you have a preferred customer and this customer orders every month, do you get points for these orders, or it's only with upgrades?
No, just once.
Okay.
Thank you, Cameron. Yeah, I was going to jump in there. Absolutely. Yeah, that one is clear because, yeah, you're earning volume points on those and so forth, but there won't be any extra points for that, just on the joining. Anybody else
You know,
with any
I'm
questions?
gonna jump in here a bit, Carl. And one of the things that while Cameron was speaking and him going all in here with Lifewave, so to speak, I just want to say I'm super proud of him, and I'm lucky to be right here in the same town he is, and we get to have coffee and just get together and brainstorm and strategy. Same with Peter Langler, his sponsor. I mean, it's so fun to have this community. And one thing that Cameron, you remind me of, and one of my mentors once said to me, you know what? There's something very simple about someone who's determined, someone who's all in, someone who sets a goal, because you know what? It breaks down like this. No one can stop a man or a woman with a plan, because no one has a plan to stop you. Now, those words are pretty powerful when you think about it. You are often your biggest critic, and you're often the one that maybe are sitting there, well, I could never do that. It's maybe a little bit more than I'm comfortable with. You got to get out of your comfort zone. You got to get out of that circle of capabilities. And Cameron has been just a prime example of doing that, and so many others here in this group as well, even new people that are on the call here today and maybe haven't had a phenomenal success yet, but you know what? You should be proud of what you've done. Now, to level up and to make a bigger goal is what the difference will be, and you will shine. You will shine, ladies and gentlemen. You just got to get your courage up and do the things that scare you. Picking up that phone, doing three-way calls a day scares you. Do it. Make it happen. And just like Cameron, oh, I gotta late at night, I gotta make a few more calls yet. I'm so focused and I gotta get this happening yet. I admire that kind of determination, but that takes some willpower. That takes some I always say it takes guts to get out of the ruts. And when you have those guts and you just make it happen, it becomes easy systematically after you do that. So yeah, I just appreciate you guys a ton, each and every one of you. And so I want to thank you for joining us tonight. And I see Christopher Gutierrez here all the way from Costa Rica. Great to have you here, brother. It's just wonderful to have so many countries here on the call tonight. And Carl, I'll turn it back to you. If anybody has any questions, we definitely want to take the time for you.
Yeah, let me give just a few moments as I'm speaking. Please feel free to throw your hand up using the reactions button, or just unmute yourself and interrupt me. I give you that permission. As a director, as one of a few directors, a number of directors, Pete being senior and Kai SPD and Judy a director and Cameron as well, and all the managers too. I know this community is committed to uplifting each other, and I personally pledge my time to any one of you that is interested to going at the speed you want to go. I'll match your speed. You have full access to my time to be able to do a three-way call with you, and there is a magic in that. If you have not discovered it, trust me, it works. We've done them successfully. So in bringing this to a conclusion, if there isn't any further questions, I want to say that the focus of this has been hopefully to incentivize each one of us, to get us going, whether we're going for the trip, for perhaps maybe it's a fact or just an opportunity to have a trip. But in the process of pursuing the trip, you will build your business. In the process of building your business, you're going to earn the trip. They are mutually inclusive of each other. And that's what makes this so exceptional. And I think we have seen something that Lifewave might not do again. I'll say that in the many ways in which you can accumulate the points and the cumulative ability of the points to stack up on each other, as Cameron used that example, 36 points just for maintaining that rank, 18 for maintaining other ranks. This is an incredible opportunity. Judy, please interrupt me with your questions.
Hey, it's not so much a question as a comment. I was just thinking one of the sort of action steps that we could take away from this call is not just to have, you know, a warm fuzzy feeling and be inspired and all that, but to actually put it into something that's going to make a difference. Like Pete said, to find that courage to do the daily method of operation. So I'm challenging everybody in this call to pick one other person that you know, upline, downline, crossline. Pick one person to be your accountability partner, and every day or every week, whatever you want to do, the two of you, just talk honestly about how did it go? Did you meet your goal? Did you call your 3 or your 5 people every day? What happened? Just have a little bit of an accountability partner. It will help spur you both on and keep you going through the good and the tough times. That would be my encouragement for sort of some homework after this call. Find somebody and make that pact that you're going to talk to them at least once a week.
Well, you know, Judy, thank you as always for your words of wisdom as a fellow director and someone who we maintain some accountability with as well. I love the fact what you just shared. I can't think of a better note to end on that. So with that, Carola, if you don't mind, end the recording. We can stay on for a few more minutes, but thank you all for coming here on behalf of all of us that participated and for you showing up here. I'll see you in the Dominican Republic.